Boys, here we go. It's not good. And Waddle was breaking it down yesterday. He was telling you what's wrong on the tape. And, it's wrong. It's all wrong. The Bears are 30th, third from the bottom in the NFL in rush EPA. They remain last for the second consecutive week in adjusted line yards on offense. And this is where you're not going to like it.
Let me hear it.
Khalil Herbert and Roschon both had a better EPA per rush attempt than DeAndre Swift in week 3. Both have higher rush grades than Swift, according to PFF. And amongst 54 qualified blocking running backs right now, where do you think DeAndre Swift ranks in blocking grade?
Near the bottom.
The bottom, 54th.
Yeah. He wasn't a good blocker wherever he was at.
He was not.
Philadelphia, Detroit, wherever he was at. He was not a good blocker.
He graded worse than Khalil Herbert in pass blocking last year. But I think the Bears told you they need more of a 3-down back, and they don't trust Khalil Herbert in blocking situations. DeAndre Swift ranks dead last right now in PFF's pass blocking grade. Herbert and Roschon have 16 total rush attempts in 3 games. All right? They're not qualified yet to reach the leaderboard in the next-gen stats, the NFL next-gen stats, okay? Mm-hmm. But I've got the data for you anyway. I called in a favor. 41 running backs have at least 20 rush attempts, so that is the leaderboard, all right? And again, Herbert and Roschon don't appear in that 41 because they don't have enough rush attempts. But of the 41 running backs in the NFL with at least 20 rush attempts, DeAndre Swift is dead last in rush yards over expectation per attempt. Dead last, negative 2.38. If you want to know where Roschon is, he is at negative 0.13. Herbert is at positive 0.25, slightly better than the guy everybody misses in Detroit, David Montgomery. Rush yards over expectation per attempt, Khalil Herbert was better last year than David Montgomery. He's better this year than David Montgomery. He is light years better than DeAndre Swift, and he was last year, yet he has 8 carries. And I know what you're saying. Oh, they're loading the box against DeAndre Swift. Out of those 41 running backs, Jurk?
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift is facing 8+ defenders in the box at the 4th lowest rate. If I were a lawyer, this is where I would turn and I'd say, I rest
to the
my
judge,
I rest
or,
my
or
case.
you, to the jury.
To the jury, and I'd say,
to the jury.
I rest my case.
Okay.
And it would take 3 minutes for the verdict to come back.
And what I would tell you is Roschon's numbers are down. What I'd tell you is Khalil Herbert's numbers are down. And running backs are a dime a dozen to me. And I understand you and I both got a burr in our ass about Ryan Poles going and making DeAndre Swift his first signing of the offseason. It was silly. It was silly at the time. We called it silly at the time. Anybody running behind this offensive line is doomed for failure. They are doomed for failure. The focus is not DeAndre Swift for me. And because Ryan Poles made the mistake of signing a running back and making him the focus of the offseason, to me, it's a glaring mistake, and it's terrible. But I'm not getting lost in the numbers at the running back position because I realize where the problems lie. The problems lie in the offensive line. That's where your problems are at. And it's not the strongest offensive lineman where the problem starts. It's always going to be the weakest offensive lineman. Wherever your greatest weakness is, and unfortunately for the Bears, it seems to me, for me, when I look at it, it's right guard and center. And you had holes. You had problems at right guard and center last year because you still didn't trust Nate Davis last year. And Nate Davis got hurt and he missed games. Yeah. All right. This offseason came. You thought there was going to be a little bit more participation. Maybe he was going to be a little more eager. The problems with this team are on the offensive line. You and I love to poke fun at running backs because they're a dime a dozen, and usually they are. But it didn't make a difference on that 4th and 1 at the goal line who the running back was going to be.
Well, that's
nothing good.
Damn sure.
The only guy, maybe Saquon, would have been able to turn on the dime, head the other direction, not slip and fall, and maybe make it to the far pylon and score a touchdown. Maybe it could have been Saquon. Maybe. I'm saying that's a maybe. The one guy that might have made the difference was Saquon that could have done that for you. Maybe. Odds are they weren't because they were coming.
You had like 5 guys.
There were 5 guys coming at him, and the sideline was coming quick.
Yeah.
And there it was. So The offensive line is horrific. They've performed horrific. They need to perform better. And maybe Pryor, maybe getting another guy in there at the right tackle to be able to just get a look-see of what something else might look like.
If you were coaching this team right now, and you're looking at, you've watched your last 3 games and you're coaching the O-line, you're coaching the run game, whatever it is, you're the offensive coordinator. Like, is there anything that you can think of knowing what your limitations are? Like, and I don't mean to pile on DeAndre Swift because he's at some point hopefully going to be a productive player for them. Maybe it starts this week against a defense that we talked about can be had. But like, is there something they can do knowing the limitations? Like, you know what they are. Can you scheme something that would make it easier?
First thing I'd do is I'd split my splits would be a little bit wider, and I'd be running a power game and a trap game.
Power game and a trap.
Power game, trap game, power game, trap game, toss left, toss right.
And when you say power game and trap game, are you getting away from some of like the outside zone blocking stuff?
Yes,
you
that's
are.
exactly what I'm getting away from.
You are.
Yes.
And this team can do that.
I'm getting away from lateral movement. Yes.
You are.
You're
Okay.
getting down block, chip.
Okay.
Kick. Down block, kick.
Okay.
Down block, log. I'm logging a guy in the perimeter.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. You're either running a G play, you're running an O play from the offside.
Okay.
So either the front side guard's pulling or the backside
guard's pulling.
That's it.
And so that's what you're doing.
That's what I'm
Both
running.
ways, right, left.
I'm running trap,
and I'm going to try to go
run
downhill.
Left, with tight ends, without tight ends, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. And if the defense across from me is ultra aggressive, now I got to trap them too.
And so there is a way. I mean, like, you're telling me there's a way.
There's always a way to get something done. Always. Depending upon what you have.
Okay.
Anytime you got an aggressive defense, you trap them. Let them run themselves out of the play.
You always say that. Let them run them. Let them
You
run.
can't block them. Let them run themselves out of a play. Get rid of them.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah, and you got a couple of young pass rushers who might be a little overeager, right?
Right.
Let them take themselves out.
Let them take themselves out of the play.
Well, I hope they're listening to you. I hope they're concocting this game plan right now. Look, to McVay's credit, you talk about a team that was shorthanded. They're very shorthanded, and they did enough offensively to stay in that play, to stay in that game. Excuse me, to be able to come back late and win. Like Jurko always says, the team that hangs around longer than they should always can be a little dangerous, and that was the Rams. All of a sudden, when they made it a one-score game in the fourth quarter last Sunday, and McVay did it by. What did he do? He didn't run hardly any 12 personnel in the first 2 weeks. He ran a ton of it last week just because of all the injuries they had. And he still found a way with Tutu Atwell and a rookie 6th-round pick and Demarcus Robinson.
I think this is the first game you're truly playing a 3-4-2. So you're going to get a man over the center.
First one, yes. This is an odd front.
You're getting a man over the center now.
Yes, you are.
So now we're going to find out, what's his name, Shelburne?
Shelton.
Sheldon?
Yes.
We're going to find out what he's made of.
Yeah.
Now you'll find out what your center's made of in the run blocking. Now you'll find out what he's made of. So this is the first true test for your center, I believe. Okay, so
boy, that's a little bit scary.
No, I don't think it's scary. Your guards are uncovered. We'll find out when they get to pass rush. I think they go back to an even front. So base defense is a guy on the nose. When they go to their nickel and dime, I think they're playing even man.
They're playing an even man anyway. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. The base is an odd man front. This is the first one.